Oh my God. Yes? How can I help you? Oh, just saying. Just saying. Oh my God. Okay. Are you enjoying yourself, humanoid? Yes, thank you. I'm having a whale of a time. When we know we are God, we know how to please God. And when we know how to please God, then there's certain things that we have to do to accomplish that. And of course, we have to be satiated in lots of ways when we are in the human form. And a few of the ways in which I have discovered how to enter into the bliss of God consciousness is by polishing off a superb bottle of chilled Newcastle Brown and a couple of packets of like varying beefy, frazzly, fatty, salty, kind of crunchy things that the body finds so satiating. It's very strange how in millions of years, or at least in 1.5 million years of human beings being in their present form, maybe-ish, so they say, we've just discovered how to make these crunchy, savoury things, which is heaven on earth. I don't know what I would do if I never had these things. How could I gain the greatest of satiation from what? Eating raw meat and buds and shoots and... No! I can't ever imagine getting the appropriate levels of ecstasy from those things. Anyway, by the time we have become acquainted with how we become ecstatic, then we can partake in a few of those avenues, but we have to be careful because we will be levelled at us accusations like hedonist. Just doing everything for pleasure, that's all you do. Well, you know, it is a trait of being a human being. We do tend to do lots of things in the pursuit of pleasure and happiness. And even if we work hard, like we go to the gym or we work hard working or something, it's within the realms of the pursuit of happiness, isn't it? Everything ultimately is a pursuit of happiness, people, and so it's a case of how we're going to find it. Some people, unfortunately, find it in heroin or crack cocaine or things like that, which bring about a great dependency and cause horrific withdrawal symptoms. But if you can get your ecstatic buzzes from things that don't cause you to have the greatest of dependency and suffer from withdrawal symptoms, then you're on the right track. And so you guys know watching my videos by now, even if you're only new viewers, I found a certain avenue into the kingdom of God. I realised that we have to tend for the body. We can't allow the body to get ill. We can't allow the mind to run rogue. We have to keep tethers on both. We have to keep very tight reins on, let's say we've got 6 horses to draw our carriage. And every one of those horses has to be satiated, it has to be fit, it has to be young, it has to be vibrant. But it also has to have spirit. They've got to have spirit, and the spirit needs containing. That's why we need to tether them and place a bit within their mouth, and whoa, whoa, we do certain restraining, and then sometimes it's yeah, 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 ah, and they love that. They love having the whole thing pumping. That's what physical things love to do. It just serves us so well, being at the height of what we're supposed to be, in our prime, and so yeah, and even the charioteer is pumped with adrenaline. Now there's a certain thing in ancient Greek mythology, and it's called metis. Now metis was a word that was very difficult to comprehend, but from reading Peter Kingsley's Reality, he defined it, I suppose, the best anybody ever could. Metis is this potentially unconstrained energy which is brought into line and channeled very precisely. So if you're a charioteer and you've got 6 horses and you're in a race or you're in battle or something, and you need to control them, you need to steer them this way and that way, you need to slow them down, speed them up, all sorts of things. You need to guide the metis. It's the energy which is going to be achieving the greatest and dizziest of heights of potential. And so whenever we are in a heightened state of achieving something, bear in mind that there are forces working through us, people. Spirits, cosmic energies, that if we don't channel correctly, things could go very, very wrong. So we always have to make sure that we've got the strongest arms and muscles to guide these beasts in front of us, and we have to have the sharpest and most acutest of minds to know that we've just got to turn now within a fraction of a second, and we've got to, you know, lean our weight just a little bit over here to counterbalance things and all this sort of things. There's a lot of it going on. There's a lot of stuff to contemplate. And when we become masters of that, then of course we become master charioteers. And become masters of our own destiny, because we can tether and contain and constrain and utilize cosmic vital life force. But those who don't know how to do that, those who don't have the physical fitness or the strength, and they don't have the mental acuity, they don't have that very, very highly conditioned, fast working mind which has travelled a million journeys, and when they are in the midst of battle, they know exactly via their intuition how to guide these horses to take them into the exact position they need to be in to confront their enemy. So there's a whole lot more to this world than people think. And there are levels of muggle, non-spirited. I don't even call them human beings, I just call them husks or NPCs, because if we try to define a human being, then how do we do that? Where does it begin and where does it end? Succinctly, I say to define a human being is the height, in every possible respect, of potential. That is a human being. All else fails to meet the grade. If you've got someone with no arms, is that a human being? If you've got someone who's a catatonic, is that a human being? If you've got a mentally retarded person, is that a human being? No, it's not. If you say yes it is, then where does it end? Is a human being a torso, deaf and dumb and mute, and you can't think or say anything, just can eat and shit? Is that a human being? No. No. That's a slug. That's a slug. There's some slugs, however, that try to be human beings. Bless their cotton socks. Oops. Bless their stump. Bless their cotton stump. Just being facetious, people. There are these people who are greatly impaired that do not allow their impairment to contain or constrain them from living what some would consider to be a full life. And these people, because they get very, very heavily funded, then of course they get more privileges than the average person will ever get from state benefit and things like that. And so then they are afforded to try and do these things, and you see them going skiing and skydiving and all this stuff. Fuck, how many of you guys can afford to ski and skydive? Bless you, fucking cut your arms and legs off. You'll be doing it all then, I'm telling you. You'll be fucking famous as well. Anyway, I have brothers and sisters. And incidentally, just like Jesus, I don't have an allegiance to my brothers and sisters. They mean nothing to me. Then they may consider that they're my blood. My blood is very different to theirs. My blood is 99% Anunnaki blood. I'm vastly more superior than they are. They're just societal drones. They're nothing, brothers and sisters. And these people, these things, these empty husks, drones, when I used to listen to them and their rhetoric, it's so predictable, it's so mundane, it never ever changes, it never evolves, it never steps out of that loop that they grew into, they found themselves within at a very early age, and they've never ever broken out of it. And it's always about, oh yeah, oh not enough money, oh nobody's doing this and nobody's doing that, and you know, I can't live a full life because, well, everybody else is to blame, and you know, if everybody was buying what I was selling, then of course, you know, I'd be living like a king, but it's all doom and gloom. And I'm like, do you really think the world is like that? Well, yes, because, you know, this, that and the other. I said, no, look. Arrest yourself for a moment. You say that nobody's buying any cars, because this is my elder sibling. He sells cars from time to time. And if he doesn't sell what particular car he's got, oh, nobody is buying cars. All of a sudden he's copied and pasted that onto the whole world. And I'm like, no, excuse me, no. There are millions of people today who have bought cars. There are actually millions of people who have bought cars, but they've not bought your car. So don't be copying and pasting your misfortune onto the whole world. Why do you do that? Oh yeah, well, you know, no, I don't know. Why do you do it? It's not real, it's pathetic. What are you doing? All of a sudden you're adopting this victimhood, and you're not claiming your individual failings. You want the whole world to fail with you, and that way you find it acceptable. If the whole world can't sell cars, then how could you be expected to sell a car? But if you look around and you admit yourself that the whole world is actually selling cars, it's just me that are not selling my car. Well, maybe your car's shit. Maybe people don't want your car. Maybe it's overpriced. Maybe there's a fucking thousands of your cars advertised on the same platform. That's probably got something to do with it. So you get all this numpty, nonsensical bollocks. And they can never ever step outside of that. And of course, I always rile them, just like Socrates riled everybody he ever spoke to, because I just point out the plain fucking facts and truth, and that's just far too much for them. Then I have a sister who's been smoking and drinking heavily every single day of her life for the past 30, 40 years, and she says, without this I would have been dead a long time ago. I'm like, why are you justifying killing yourself? Because you are killing yourself, of course. Smoking and drinking every single day and then proclaiming to yourself, because you can't stop, maybe you would like to stop, maybe if you thought about it, you knew that what you were doing was wrong and is in actual fact killing you, but then you justify it by, well, I would have been dead a long time ago if it wasn't for these. It's pathetic. Look what she's doing again. She is justifying what she does by the very fact that she's alive now. Can you imagine? I mean, I wouldn't be alive if I didn't make these ranting videos every week. I would have been dead a long time ago. How many people would buy that? You would buy it, would you? No. Oh, good God. And so I can't speak with these people. I can't have anything to do with these morons. And that's what constitutes 99.99999999999% of these freaking fucking pink slugs. That's what they are, people, pink fucking slugs. But if we just step outside of them, like the illuminated ones have, they've just controlled them, get them to build factories, get them to wear their own shackles, get them to think their own poison, and fucking just keep packing chickens, motherfuckers. Just keep fucking canning beans, you assholes. That's right, that's right, that's right. And then, when you say to them, why are you fucking packing beans? Oh, well, you know, you gotta do something to keep the wolf away from the door, because if you didn't do this, then the wolf's gonna come and gobble me up. It's like you're not the three little fucking piggies, you know. Yeah, well, you don't know, do ya? And it's like, keep packing your beans, you fucking moron. Good God. Is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Providence, is it me? Is it me? You come and see Daddy then. Come on. Look, I've got some stuff down here. You've never had them before, right? But they're cool. Go on then. Go and get one of those. That's right, you can smell it. Come on. It's not Providence. He's a very gentle little guy. Very gentle. He's so beautiful. And he comes up and he looks at me. He just say, it's me. Have you got anything? What have you got there? You got any of those nice nuts? And I'm like, of course I have. Come here. And then I give him one like this, and he comes and just takes it so gently, so beautifully. What's your name? Hey, little dude. Do you want one of these crisps? Hey, I'm going to throw one to you, right? I'm going to throw these to you. Here. See what you reckon to them. There you go. Oh, no good? No. I don't blame you. It's not everybody's ecstasy, you know. It isn't. Some people call them vermin. They call them tree rats, because I've once heard it said and I thought it sounds cool. They know fucking nothing about these highly intelligent, beautiful animals. And if they ever watch the YouTube video, these animals make the most loving, endearing and fun and intelligent house pet that you can ever have, vastly exceeding the intelligence of a silly canine. Vastly. And they are a blessing to whatever country that they thrive within. Where was I? I was talking about muggles, wasn't I? I was talking about retards and idiots. Yes. And how they never change. They're just flatliners. And every time they go and see anybody, it's the same rhetoric. It's the tape they turn on and it starts going around and around and around and around. And my elder brother is a classic example. He's been the same all of his life, living in a complete fantasy that everybody knew was a fantasy, and they knew him for being a fantasist. And the only person that didn't know it or wouldn't accept it was him. And, oh, you know, I could say that that's sad, but these people serve a purpose. Because if everybody was enlightened, who would pack the chickens? Who would clean out the blocked up toilets? Who would fix the hole in your roof on a freezing, pissing it down day? We need these people. And so that's why the cosmos has created them. And that's why there are hierarchical systems. And that's why enlightened beings don't partake in those things. Enlightened beings just sit before them and speak stuff, and then they're all like, you know, how many of you have seen these gurus with these plebs sitting in front of them, asking them such mundane and ridiculous questions that any 4-year-old on the first day at school would be asking? And yet you think, you're not evolving, are you? You're not evolving. Anyway, continue to pack your chickens and pay your £2 for the weekend into my coffers. Thank you. And I'll listen to your bullshit and I'll look at your sad fuck faces. And I won't have an ounce of pity for you because you're serving a purpose. And that's lining my bank account. Thank you. And that's all they are for. They're just for people to capitalise on and profit from and take advantage of, just like sheep in the field and beasts in the field. How many pity the beast and the lamb? Why would anyone do that? Particularly when these beasts are born for the sole purpose of their slaughter. It's not like the wild animals and they're being captured and put in a field. Then you can have some empathy and say, no, put them back, they're wild. They're not wild. And the point is, these animals have been domesticated through thousands of years. They could never ever be wild anymore. They just couldn't survive out there. So they need the human being to have their tiny little pathetic lives until it's time for them to end their little life. Let's just have a look at this little dude. Little dude, what you got? Hey, you got some nice fresh grass shoots. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool? Certainly it is. Yeah, go on then. Yeah, super duper. Well, I know you're not starving anyway, so that's a cool thing. None of you're starving, are you? You don't need me. It's just kind of pleasant to try some things that you can't get around here. Anyway, I'm going to make one more video, and that's about this world's first spiritual Bible. How do we break free from our self-imposed tyranny and create heaven within? Ooh, even I'm intrigued. I'm going to read that. Sounds fucking badass. Anyway, next video.